What's up, everyone? Jackson the Galactic here, and it's Saturday, so that means Friday night Vanguard recap day. So last night I went to Vanguard. For those of you who didn't know, I do play card play Vanguard along with Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, but I don't have a Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh locals, or at least not on the days that I'm off. So every Friday night is Vanguard night, where I go to my local card shop, Lost Treasure Collectibles, and then play card play Vanguard Overdress. So I went last night. We had 9 people show up. 2 of them were kind of new-ish. They've been going for like the last 2 weeks. They've been coming. So it's like the 3rd time coming to the card shop, and I've only been going for 6 weeks now. So they've been there half the time I've been there. But they were 2 new people there, which is pretty cool. But we had 9 people show up, which is almost everybody. I think we were missing maybe 2 to 3 people, if that. So the really good turnout. So since we had 9 people show up instead of normal 7, we did a 4-round tournament instead of a 3 that we normally do. And it was for store credit, so $5 entry fee. And we got a promo pack. I don't remember what card I pulled from the promo pack, but the entry was $5. The card I pulled from the promo pack was $4, and I sold it. So I basically get my money back from entry. So I was whatever, cool. I didn't really care. You played 4 rounds, and with one, obviously there was uneven, so every round somebody got a bye. Round 1, I don't remember exactly what I played against through any of these games, because it's kind of it's all happening really quickly, and a lot of things happening at once. But I lost round 1 due to my opponent healing at the last minute, and I was going for game, and they healed and came back around and just slapped me, which was cool, whatever. That was kind of, I guess it wasn't really my fault. It was kind of just the luck of the draw at that point, because I was going for game, and he healed to to win the game. So that kind of sucked. Yeah, that was terrible. But yeah, I lost game 1, or round 1. We played best of 1, by the way, because otherwise it would have been took forever. We played best of 1s. I lost that one because he healed at the last minute. Round 2, I played off against a girl using, what was she using? Oh, I don't remember the deck. I had thought of it, but I don't remember it anymore. What was it? I don't know. I'm so used to her using Hexa Orb, but I don't remember what deck she played last night. Oh, well, I don't think it matters too much though. But that one was probably my closest game that I played all night, because I was not supposed to win that game. I was not supposed to win that game whatsoever. She got me to 5 damage. And she attacked with her Vanguard for 2 damage. And I kid you not, I went over trigger, which you didn't know, an over trigger, when it gets revealed for a drive check or a damage check, it gives one of your units 100 million power, you draw a card, and then it gets removed from the game. So that saved me for 1 damage. Then the next one was a heal trigger. So it's all that 4 damage. She was at all that 4 damage. She was at all that 5 damage, and she was at 4 damage. So I healed damage and basically got myself back to 5 again. I was still at 5, but she couldn't hit my Vanguard anymore. So it was I made it super cool. And then next turn, if I had drawn either another grade 3 hero or my base, I would have won the game, because I could have been able to call more heroes out from my deck. But I lost mainly because I don't remember what deck she was using off the top of my head. I think, no, I don't remember the deck. I have to look it up again. But the reason why I lost is because she kept retiring all of my rear guards due to she was just playing some deck that kept making her soul charge trigger units. So if you know what deck I'm talking about, if you play Vanguard, then you know what deck I'm talking about. Just leave in the comments, because I don't remember the name of the card off the top of my head. But she kept having to put triggers from her drop or hand into her soul. so that she can soul blast them to like banish them, whatever, to get extra effects off her critical triggers. And due to that, she kept retiring my rear guards, which if you didn't know, for heroes, that sucks, because with heroes, you basically never call units from your hand. You mostly call your units from your base. So like with her doing that, I kind of had to waste my hand on getting more heroes to field instead of using them to guard with and then discarding them back from the drop zone off of my other hero. Because like with heroes, basically you have your main grade 3, you have your back row grade 1 that you never attack with, and then you have 3 other grade 3s on grade 2, let's say, on your other 3 rearguard circles. So like you never, opinion is basically like your setup from turn 3 onward. Like you never really change your setup unless your opponent's pressuring you and you killing your rear guards. But with hero, basically like usually I can have a handful of like just guard stuff just to guard with and persona ride everyone over and over again. But due to her retiring my rear guards, I had to kind of like use more and more hand to kind of get my field back so I can kind of pressure her for game. But that just didn't happen, and I was stuck at 2 bases for the entire game. If I had seen one more base, I would have been in a lot more better position. Just because a lot of my units either required me to have my main Vanguard. He required me to have 3 bases to get an extra crit. The basically means I dealt extra damage, and which basically helped me push more for like pressure. And this top of that, the bases, that means I can get 3 units from my base to either my guardian circle to help me block with, so I don't have to use my hand, or if I end up losing my field, I can call 3 more units from my base to rear guard circle to help me attack again. So due to that, I kind of had no units in my base to guard with or even a call to field, so I kind of made my hand completely useless and I had 1 card left to hand. Then also I found out later, I made a mistake early in the game where I had, basically what the base does, if you didn't know, this is my base for, it's a set order. And what it does is auto when placed, and put to your auto zone, you take top 7 for up to 3 heroes. And you add one of them to hand, you reveal them, add up to 1 of them to hand, and scout the others. And then shuffle the deck. Basically, I revealed the 2 heroes that I found. I'm gonna think about for something else later. The 2 heroes that I found were, where's the other one? No, not that one. This one. Were these 2. I got Bold Salos and Flatten Siri, or how you pronounce her name. But these 2 are the two that I found. What I normally do is add him to hand and will scout her, is because when the base's second effect is when in the order zone, I can rest this unit, discard a card, and call a scouted card with great less than or equal to my Vanguard to rear circle. And what he does is that when he's discarded from the effect of a base, I can counter blast 1, call him to rear guard, and scout 1 from drop. I meant to add him to hand and scout her so that I can activate his effect when I call her back to field, so that I can call him to rear guard circle and scout another one. So I have 2 units in my in my base scouted, since I had like 2 of them. I had 1 previously before her, but I did in the reverse order where I scouted him and added her, thinking that he was this one, which is when scouted is soul charges 1. So I got them mixed up, thinking that they were he was this one. And that kind of cost me the game, because if I had done it correctly, I would have not only had 2 more units on my rear guard circle to help me attack on my final turn with my Vanguard and push for the game, and basically won the game right in there, but I also would have had another hero in my, also would have had him from my drop into my base to help guard with, since he is a 15-hit shield, since I would have a hero, Vanguard with hero in the card name and a base in my order zone. So he would basically become a 15-hit shield for me. But I screwed it up and thought that they were each other and kind of paid the price for it. At that point, that was kind of my fault. Round 3, I did get the buy. And I think they said that the buy at this one counts as a win. So in theory, I went 2-2. But I'm not sure if the buy actually counts as a win or not. I have to ask them next time I go, just to make sure. Because if not, then I went 1, 2, and a buy, which I'm not sure how a buy counts for Vanguard. If it counts as a point towards me or against me, I don't really know. But if it comes and they win, then it's 2-2. If it doesn't, then it's 2-1 and a bye. Game 3, I played against a new player who's using plant tokens, and I beat him. And that game, it wasn't really about me winning. It was more or less kind of helping him, like teaching him the game and kind of just playing him, because like he's still new. So it's like, even though I beat him, it was kind of like I was just messing around, kind of just doing things I wouldn't normally do, just so he can get better at the game. So like I took like damage that I really didn't need to take, or I would kind of swing for smaller numbers than what I actually could have, just so that I can kind of help him and guide him to like more learning stuff. Cause like he took a lot of damage early game that he probably shouldn't, that I normally would have blocked. Like when I swung like in the early game, for me, I'm gonna take damage early game because that's just what I do. Because most of my decks I have need counter blast, which is basically your life. So basically counter blast is basically taking a card in your damage zone that's face up and flipping it face down so you see the back of the card. So for me, a lot of my cards in heroes need counter blast. So like I will take your first like 3 or 4 3 attacks and just take them, kind of the damage. But for him, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's still because he's new. He took a lot of my early game hits, or like blocks for like really small numbers that I can get over with like one trigger. So it's kind of like, I don't understand what you're doing, but it's like I said before, it's just a learning experience. You get better over time with Vanguard. Well, I remember when I first started playing, I thought that blocking everything was the key to surviving. Then I started playing 7Cs and realized that, oh, with 7Cs, I can play the take damage early game, and since I'm milling my deck a lot, my opponent can't kill me because I can just heal. I have perfect guards, basically like perfect heals and stuff in my hand from my grade 3 with the V-series, that is, and I can basically sell my opponent out to either deck out or just pressure them. So it's like, for me, I learned my playstyle is just taking damage early and just praying and just playing the slow game and kind of just selling out my opponent, because I know that I can grind out my opponent, because I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh player and grinding out in stall games is what we do best. So I play basically mine for example and Aroma, so I know gain my life points up to like a really high number, and wait till my opponent either just can't kill me to get to a certain point where my opponent just cannot kill me with Aroma, getting like 100,000 life points and just sitting on that until my opponent is rolling, they can't come in and scooping. Or in Mystic Mine, for example, just playing somebody in Mystic Mine with Field Barrier up and just cut my opponent with cards like what is it? Cauldron of the Old Man. So it's like, cool, as a Yu-Gi-Oh player that played a lot of stall decks and Inzectors, for example, I know all about resource management. So it's kind of like I know that what I can and can't do with the decks I play, so it's like whatever. But we did pretty good. I would like to do better, but I would like to say that I did play a lot of really close games. My biggest gripe with the deck is something that we did kind of sort of fix with some new cards we got. But my biggest gripe with the deck, if I can find it really quickly, is one card we play 3 of, which is the Penguin. We play Eating Monster Penguin. We call it Penguin at the card shop because it's basically just like a monster penguin. But this card, basically what it does is when it's discarded from hand during your turn for any reason, you look at the top 5 cards of your deck for up to 1 set order and add to your hand. This thing never resolved for me at all last night, except like once in the game where it didn't matter against the new guy. Since I already had like 3 bases, I had 3 bases already in hand, so it did not matter for me. And I activated this card 3 times in my duel against the girl who was retiring all my rear guards. I used this card 3 different times and did not get my 3rd base. Cause I had 2 of them in my order zone. I damage checked 1 of them, and I had 1 left in deck. So when I did top 5, it was not there. When I flipped out the 6th card, it was the very next card of my deck, which was like very frustrating because like I was just 1 card away from just absolutely just winning the game, and that was very, very, very frustrating. Then on top of that, the last turn that I had the game, I drew this for turn, with no way to discard it to search for the last base. So because I had like two bases in my order zone, one damage strike, one left in deck, and I had no units in my or my no scouted units, so I couldn't discard it to kind of call a unit and then try to search for the third one. So that was like very, very, very frustrating. So I had to call it the rearguard circle, which I probably shouldn't have done. I probably should have held it in hand so that I can call it next turn to try to push for the game, which is probably what I should have done as well. But I don't think at that point I was kind of just frustrated and trying to win the game at that point. But it's whatever. Didn't think through, but it's whatevs. But yeah, like I said, we did pick up 2 new cards that we got. This one's kind of like a card that I didn't know existed, and the guy told me about it. And he was very kind of like on the ropes of trading it to me, but he caved in and excited to me like $5 each. So I paid $10 in total for these 2 cards. And it is Advent Robust. What he does is auto when placed on rearguard circle, I combat 1, switch my deck for up to 1 set order, reveal it. And if my order zone has a card with the same name as the reveal card, I put that card in my hand and shuffle the deck. Basically what it means is if I have 1 bait, basically it means that I can search for my bases now on my grade 3 turn. Since I'm guaranteed to have 1 through my right line because of my grade 1, which is my Architect, because when he's placed on Vanguard circle, I summon the deck to 1 base card, reveal it, and put it into my hand. So I'm guaranteed to have his effect go off because like I have 1 base. So it's like cool. If I have 1 base in order zone, call him to rearguard circle, combat 1. I can search my base and add it automatically off to hand, which means I'm guaranteed 2 now per turn, per game, which is super nice since I can normally get like 2 of them per game guaranteed. It's usually finding that 3rd one, which is always the most frustrating part, which is something I'm going to be working on with him. So hopefully he helped me a lot. They said that 2 should be fine, perfectly fine for me since I am running Penguin as well. So I should be fine with just two of him. So I would test that out. If I don't like the way he runs, then I do have 2 more of this one, which is basically when he switched, he gets +5, which is super cool. But if not, I'll probably end up running, if he doesn't work well, I'll probably end up running 2 more of her, since I do need, they told me to run 4 of her. So if he doesn't run well, I'll probably run 2 more of her and run 4 of her. So it's just kind of just testing out things. And then his second skill is when he attacks, I can choose 2 set orders with if I have choose up 2 set orders, same name, my order zone, and if I chose 2 cards, this unit gets plus 10k. Basically means that it gives basically a power boost. He comes 23, which is super cool because I can swing with him, then swing my Vanguard, then my grade 1, who is, if I find her, this one. She can target at the end of my battle where my grade 3 Vanguard attacked. With hero and carding attack, she can +1 and rest herself to target 2 cards in the same column each other and switch their positions around. Which means that if I have him on the front row, my front row rearguard circle, or even my back row, for example, I can switch him around to kind of either get him to attack last, or to switch him with one of my heroes to kind of get the extra pressure, since my Vanguard does give my heroes +5 in the front row during both players' turns, which means that I can call either my hero up front to help me intercept, or I can have him. I'll probably end up calling him up front first though, so I can tackle him first and then switch him out with another hero so I can get intercept power, and also just have another hero on my front row so I can guard with and stuff. But there's a lot of changes that I'm making. He's basically the biggest one as of right now. So I guess we'll test him out next week and see how that performs. And kind of, because we're getting ready for June 2nd, which is the Set 10 pre-release tournament for Lost Treasures. So, like I said, I've never been to a pre-release before, so I'm very excited to go. It's for Set 10, I think, and I think it says like $20 for 4 or 5 packs or something like that. So I will be buying as many packs as I can for Set 10, because I don't know when I'll be able to buy a box. But I'll probably buy like a few packs while I'm there, and then probably end up buying a box of set 10, since I don't know what's in set 10, but I do know that I do want to open up a box on the channel, mostly so I can get trade fodder for everybody else at the car shop as well, so I can kind of trade with them and have more desirable trades, since I am trying to build up my Car Fight Vanguard Overdress collection. So I will be buying a box of that, so that I can have trade fodder for that, and also hopefully figure out some other decks I want to build. Since as of right now, the only decks I'm currently planning on building are Blitz, which is like a Blitz CEO deck. It's basically rather than having set orders operated, and they can basically get caught the rearguard circle and attack for really big numbers, and then go back to being in your order zone. I plan on building Maelstrom and Flatback as well, which basically they both are Aquaforce-esque decks that heavily rely on you restanding your units and getting like 4 or 5 or maybe even 6 or 7 attacks in per turn. So, and I like Aquaforce, so I was like, cool, I'm building those. And after those decks are built, I will be collecting cards for Silhouette, because that deck looks really cool, and it also requires like arms kind of like support for what's her name? I think her name is Minerva. No, not Minerva. What's that? I don't remember that card that requires arms. I was just thinking about it yesterday. I don't remember the card that card name. But there's a card in Vanguard that require like you have a right arm and a left arm for like that you can equip to your Vanguard basically. But the way Silhouette works is that you call your unit, your arm cards, your quote-unquote arms to your regular circles, both left and right. And you basically can attack with them. And then when your Vanguard attacks, they attach to him, I think. So it's like, no, I think they attach to your Vanguard first when he attacks. And then if you hit like a front trigger, since at the end of the battle, they go back to rearguard circle, they get plus 10k. And then can attack with those trigger modifiers, which makes it super cool. And it's really weird how the deck plays out, but I am very interested. I think I'm pretty sure I explained that correctly, but I could be wrong though. But it looks like a very interesting deck, and since I like Brantgate, for some reason I like the whole set order thing, because the cards that you have Yu-Gi-Oh and field spells, but unlike Yu-Gi-Oh, these stack up, so which means that I can have 4 bases in my order zone or field spell zone, if you want to be more technical for Yu-Gi-Oh. So it's kind of like having 4 field spells, and they all work independently of each other, but also all kind of work together. So it's kind of like, it's super cool to have like 4 different field spells kind of like doing the same thing and give me the same advantages of each other and help me kind of like push for more card advantage. It's super nice, I like. But yeah, I will be doing a deck profile for heroes after next week's card fight night. Since I don't know how this deck's gonna perform with the new changes of the 2 new grade 3s for hero, or for like the new robot card. So I don't know how it's gonna work in hero. So I'll be doing a lot of testing over the next like 2 weeks, and I think either Wednesday or Thursday before the 2nd of June for the pre-release tournament, I will be doing a deck profile for heroes to kind of show you guys the deck that I am jamming for that tournament, so that whenever I get on that Saturday, I can kind of explain to you guys what happened and how we did. And from what I was told, there are 2 sets of playmat. I think like 2 sets of 4. No, 2 sets of 2. Which means a total of 4 playmats that I'll be giving away. The first 2 go to the first and second place winner of the tournament, and the other 2 will be randomly given away through like a raffle system or something. So hopefully I can win a playmat either through the raffle or through winning the tournament, whichever one happens first. But yeah, I'm super excited to open up some new packs for Car Fight Vanguard and see what all comes inside of it, and see what new decks I can possibly build and get trade fodder. And hopefully pull some really rare cards, because that'd be super cool as well to make some money while I'm there. Also, I will be buying a box or 2 of the new set. Depending on how much it is, I might buy like 2 boxes just so I can have more trade fodder and have 2 boxes up on the channel for you guys. And I also will be buying the Power Tool Dragon and Power Tool Dragon Ghost Rare and Ultimate Rare sometime like two or 3 months. But after June, I won't be able to make any more big purchases for a while, because in the second week, is it the second week? Yeah, I believe the second week of August, I should be going to driving school at that point to get my driver's license, so that and then everything else begins going to anything I don't spend going there will be going towards getting a car, so that we can be more mobile, 2, so that we can actually go out to Target, which is in the next state over for 45 minutes away. We can go basically to Target and Second and Charles, which are both in Covington, Louisiana, which is I think a 30 to 45 minute drive from my house in Slidell. So we can go there to get cards for both Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, and Card Fight Vanguard. So I know that at Second Charles they sell a lot of Card Fight Vanguard overdress sets, and I really want to go back there again to get more cards, since I always seem to pull really good cards in there. I have pulled, I think, I pulled one card, which is in my collection. I'll share that's the point. That's worth a couple $100, which is super cool, that I pulled from a random pack that I bought. And I also pulled another card, which is in my binder, which I don't know where my card for Vanguard binder is right now. But that card was $40-something. And I got both of them from Second Charles. So I also got to buy more cards from there to see what else I can get, because their cards are pretty cheap for the most part. But yeah, August I should get my license, and hopefully by October or November, before it starts getting cold down in Louisiana, I'll have a car so we can start driving around and kind of start doing more adventurous things, and kind of doing more random card openings everywhere, and just buying cards from all over the place. So yeah, that's it for the video. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below what you think of how I did, even though I didn't do very well. Also, leave a question down in the description for my Q&A for my birthday, because I will be giving a few giveaways for products like structure decks and stuff. So I look forward to that. Also, trying to reach 500 by the end of the year, so that'll be very appreciated if you subscribe to the channel, because I'm trying to reach 500 by the end of the year for no real reason, to be honest. If you get monetized at some point, basically all that money, for the most part, we're going back toward the channel or getting better equipment. So helping out and subscribing helps me out a lot. So I appreciate it. And until next time, this is Jackson signing off.